Hello, welcome to Your Epic Life podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about the importance of regulating our nervous system and how sometimes when it feels like we want to control and fix all the things around us, really, we just need to regulate our nervous system and help us feel okay and safe inside. This one is near and dear to my heart because I can tell you, um, especially when my kids were young, I was just always searching for the best system, the best organizing tool, the best chore chart, the best meal plan, the best all the things. And I'm not saying that those things weren't helpful to a point, but I would feel out of control, like this is too crazy. I can't handle this. I'm working. I've got these young kids and I'm trying to keep track of all of this. And I would think like that those would be the real saving grace, the things that were going to save me and help. But truly, what it really was that I needed to help my body feel safe and calm. And then I could maybe see like, I would be at a point where my brain was just, it was much easier to see like, oh, actually, like if we just tweak this one little thing, that could be really helpful. Or sometimes nothing needed tweaking at all. But otherwise, my default was always to like, we need to overhaul everything. We need to rearrange our living room and our kitchen and get new this and that and create a chart and create a system.
Yeah, I'm chuckling at that because one, it really resonates with me. And two, I was kind of mad when I had to admit that controlling everyone else around me and all the things around me wasn't going to be what made me feel better because it seemed like the easier solution. I can definitely attempt to control. First of all, people don't like it. In case you hadn't noticed, it usually doesn't go over very well when you're like, you need to do all the things exactly like I tell you you need to do them so that I will feel okay. Um, and then you still don't feel okay. So you spend your entire time trying to continue to control. But it is appealing.
Yeah. Even I would like have a family meeting and be like, okay, we need a new chore plan. And that was helpful. Like it was a good idea, but I still just needed my nervous system regulated and myself feeling better. Before even going into something like that, or I always was trying to like bite off more than I could chew, or I have this tendency of like thinking that we are superhuman and like we could do more than is humanly possible and everything needed to be in control.
Well, we're not
Yeah, right.
on it.
Yeah. So I think when it comes to calming your nervous system, if you're like, hey, I've tried meditation, I've tried calm, I'm a busy person, I promise I'm right there with you. I have self-diagnosed ADHD. Um, I am not good at sitting still, meditating, all of that stuff. And honestly, it doesn't really make my nervous system feel better when I try to jump right into that. And truly, the best way to calm your nervous system is get out of that head. We spend a whole lot of time in our heads trying to fix all the problems when instead, when we can get out of our head and into our bodies, it just really helps move all of that chaos through. Then we can try the calming stuff. My favorite part about this is there's like about a bajillion ways that you can do this. So moving your body is one of them. That can be kind of like the quickest way to kind of move through some stuff, move through the stress cycle, move through anything. And my favorite part about this is there's no specific way you have to move your body. It's not like, oh, and you need to learn yoga or you need to learn CrossFit or you need to learn those things are helpful. You can do them, but literally all you have to do is move. So this can be fast. This can be slow. It can be walking. It can be running. It can be jumping jacks. It can be dancing. It can be hula hooping. If you're like, but I don't feel like moving, it can be scrunching everything up and releasing it. It can just be stretching, yawning, anything like that, but just getting out of your head and starting to move the body or just bring awareness to the body. It can even just be rubbing your arms, giving yourself a hug are really, really helpful. Music can be helpful. Humming, is great for our nervous system. And then breath work. But I will tell you for myself, sometimes going straight to breath work, it's just not accessible. I need to do the movement, the something first, then I can go to breath. Um, yeah. Lastly, one of my favorite hacks too is just get on the ground and lay down on the ground on your back if that feels good, or your bed. Like just laying flat like that can be another thing that is just really grounding and calming to our nervous system. And I'll tell you, your brain is going to want to fight that. It's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done. For me, learning in the beginning to calm my nervous system, even now, some days before I erupted, was an interesting thing. But learning what works for me came out of those things. So, unfortunately, if I'm getting frustrated and irritated, for me, if I stomp out of a room and slam a door, which is actually movement, if I were thinking ahead, I'd be like, oh, I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling wired up. I get to move my body. But if I forget that thing and then I actually kind of erupt and walk out, it takes literally like walking out of the room and like moving for me to be like, and then I go, wait a minute. And I go back and apologize. And I'm like, I feel better. And that was not about you. Learning to do it ahead of time and learning to say, like, how do I regulate my nervous system? How do I help myself feel better? I usually refer to them as sensory tools. What sensory tool can I do to help myself feel grounded and feel centered? It works for our children too, like learning to teach them like these skills early is such a beautiful gift. But I remember when my son was probably 3 or 4, he was very tactile. And when you could see him getting nervous, I could just stick his like stuffed animal in his hand that he would pick at, and it would help him calm down without me having to have the conversation because I knew him. And it actually started to help me recognize, like, what do I do? I had a picky pillow up until I was 30 some years old. And my husband, when he moved in, made me get rid of it. Like had holes in it. It was really bad. Made me, strong term, I guess. I got rid of it because he made fun of it enough that I got rid of it. And I've joked sometimes that he should have let me keep it because it
Right,
helped
right.
calm
Like,
myself
hey, this would
down.
solve a
Like you
lot of.
got rid of, like, I didn't know at the time that it had actually helped center and ground
Oh,
me. And I do kind of
I'm
miss it because
I'm
it's
really
hard to
glad
get
you
them.
brought
Yeah.
that up because you know what? I love going into schools because I learned so much from
Mhm.
kids. And there was a kid that told me he loves rubbing soft, silky things on his face.
Mhm.
Like that's his part. And it's just like, yeah, again, get curious about like what works for you. And then that piece of like, okay, but how do we use this? Number one, what you had
Mhm.
said is like, we do want to start playing around and getting curious and practicing it, playing. I like to call it playing
Mhm.
around with it before we need it. Because when we're in our reptilian brain and we're feeling all the things, anxiety, frustration, exhaustion, and just our nervous system is dysregulated for any reason, that's not the part when our brain is like, oh, yeah, I've got this tool. I know. Our brains don't work that way. So picking a time of day, and I would just start with one, and I would start really, really tiny, with, like 1 minute and just start tiny. And if timing drives you crazy, you don't even have to time it. It's just pick a point of the day. I like to pick, sometimes I tell people to pick something, it can be whenever, like morning, a break in the day, mid-morning, or after work can be a good time. A great way to kind of like get rid of all the stuff that happened at work before you head into home life or whatever. But just pick a time that works for you. And if you forget, don't worry. Like you can set a reminder on your phone or whatever, and you can always do it before bed. I forget sometimes and I'm like, all right, I'm in bed. I'm going to do a little stretch and a few little breaths, and it can help and let it grow from there. So start small and let it grow.
I think
Um,
that's a beautiful reminder to start when you don't think that you need it, instead of when your family's telling you. I mean, this is from my own story, right? Mom, I think you need to go meditate.
yeah, always. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And to know too, like teaching by modeling, by you doing something. If there's others in your house where you're like, there's a story about if you're like, oh, I think so and so could use that. I think so and so could use meditation or breath or these nervous system practices. That's a good sign that you should probably start using them yourself.
Always. It's
At
unfortunate.
controlling things again.
Yes. There's a saying, when we're working to fix somebody else, it's a good sign to look in the mirror and figure out what's going on with
Yeah.
us first, because and it can be annoying. Like, I am here to put the truth bombs down, people, and it's annoying. Like,
Yeah.
I want you to be the problem. I want to be able to fix you. It
Life would
just,
be easier.
I am old enough to have realized it does not serve me. It does not help my relationships. It does not ultimately work out in any way. I wanted it to. I really did. And there's still days when I want it to, but I am here to tell
Yeah.
you that it never, ever, ever works. Like, no one ever looks at me and says, oh, yes, okay, let me do everything that you just said because you know best what I need to do for me.
Yes.
In the meantime, what am I not looking at in my own life? Because I'm so busy looking at what everyone else needs to be doing. Or, like you said, all of the things we need to get in place, because once they're in place, then
And
I'll feel
everything will
calm.
feel good.
Yeah, it's never done. Never gonna get
Mm.
it done. So I might as well figure out
Yeah,
how to
there's
feel good
always
now.
going to be some type of chaos in our life. Yeah. People would always ask me, oh, so like, do you teach your kids mindfulness? No, they are the most resistant. Do they practice? Do they know about it? Yes. But did I directly teach them? No, not unless they ask about something. I modeled, and one time one of my kids was pretty mad at me, and we had talked about stuff and modeled, and all of a sudden he's next to me and he's doing jumping jacks, and he looks at me and he says, I am pissed right now. And I was
But
like, yeah, it was
yeah.
so amazing, because in the past that would have been slam doors, name calling, all sorts of things. And
Mhm.
yeah, but I couldn't just tell him, "Oh, this is what you need to do." He had to, like, see me using it and, ask questions, and it was like I was the awkward one, like, "What are you doing?" And then being comfortable, being the oddball, doing this stuff and explaining it. But
Because it feels better,
yeah, yeah, yep,
ultimately.
that was
Yeah.
exactly it. Yeah. Yeah, so our, anything else before their action step?
No,
Yeah.
I think that's
I
it.
think, yeah. So our action step for you this week is to get curious about what nervous system techniques might feel good to you. We've listed them in the show notes, and start playing around with them. Pick some that might feel really good. I'll also link an app called Insight Timer. That's free, an amazing tool for some calm meditation practices. And just remember, like, it's okay if you try to use those and you're like, wait a minute, this isn't working, and you need to move your body or do something else first. So, yeah, thanks for joining us this week. We will catch you next time.
Take care.